Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
What's up, aunties and nuts and everybody else? Sorry, boy, couldn't be a show without a call. We are pleased that you are tuning in to hear us talk about the What's Going Down episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 2. Me and my homegirl, Erin, she dipped in, y'all. Can you believe it?
Hey.
Welcome. Come on in.
Hello. Yes, I missed the first episode. I wanted to join because of dang COVID, but I'm on the road to recovery and grateful to be here.
Yes. And if you don't know, she also joins me and we co-host Drag Race All Stars. We are currently in production with girls, a Real
Orange County.
Thank you. The Orange County Housewives, and soon, once Selling Sunset on Netflix comes back for season 9, we will resume with that and whatever else that we want to do, whatever she want to jump on. But we are excited.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm always happy to join. Thank you, Aunts and Unks, for entertaining me. Southern Charm is in November, isn't it? Something around there.
I was just about to say, and I almost forgot. Yes,
our flagship. Yes,
okay.
She and I. There aren't too many OGs that have loved that show the way we do.
For real. And we ain't never been to Charleston.
Nope. And these are a ragtag misogynistic bunch of fools. Have you noticed how it's the guys that have endured really on the show? The ladies have not. It's really kind of a man-based show. But, I still love those dudes.
Well, they say it is a man's world.
Yeah. Well, in Charleston, it sure looked like it.
The
pH of it all.
And they are the most in tune with their feelings type of reality dude I have ever seen on these shows. I thought the New Jersey dudes were engaging, but nah, these dudes get in their feelings on Southern Charm, and I'm here for it. I love it. They love on each other, and they love each other, and they ain't afraid to show it, okay?
Yeah, and Craig is single this season, so we're going to see all kinds of shenanigans, I believe.
Girl, they are back in action, all three of them, child.
Right. Yeah, because Austin is single too. Yeah.
Girl, all hell's breaking. All hell loose down to the Charleston, South Carolina, child. Is that where they at? Charleston, South Carolina?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Had to take a swig, child. Just we almost back to normal. Okay.
Yep.
Just a second. All righty. So y'all ready to get into the show? We are. We have been mulling over some things, and I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say, and it may be unpopular, but I think it's a little popular. Okay, so the first scene, the waking up from their night in Provo campgrounds or whatever it's called, but it's definitely Provo, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't believe these ladies were not glamping and they were camping. I mean, I would have liked to see better accommodations than sleeping in chairs and fold out this. And I was offended a little bit because, like I said in episode 1 with that review, I'm like, I would have came on a trip like Mary. I would have had my bags. I would have been expecting this, my faux fur. I'm looking real cute, and I got to do what now?
Yeah, was it Meredith and like Whitney that were in those chairs? Those are like no better than those hospital beds. If you have a baby and the person stays in the room with you, they did not look comfortable. Yeah, I would have been underwhelmed to the point that I might not have wanted to go level with what Angie rolled up in.
And it wasn't even one of those real fancy RVs. It was just a regular, degular, schmegular RV. It was no frills, no thrills.
No. Where's like the tour bus? Like where's the glam? Yeah, it was dumb. And
that's
honestly,
what I would have liked to see.
And I hated that Blair Witch crap. They overdid that. I was like, give me a break. Get out of here.
Listen, I'm over all of that trying to get me to be scared. This is a reality housewives show. It ain't that deep.
No, and somebody, I think it might have been on Pop Roast. Shout out to them with Dustin on last week. I think they might have talked about how like Salt Lake City, that's kind of their production style, is to be kind of over the top and kind of campy and whatever. But like, I just thought this was stupid. It was a little too much, even for Salt Lake City.
Too much and not enough all at the same time, if you ask me. Just,
I agree with you. That was well put. Agree. Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. But surprisingly, they all woke up on the right side of the bed. Yeah. They were, cooking together. Even though Brahma can't cook, she was trying, so I just want to dig in and just, and Mary was like, I don't think you cooking that steak right. Girl. And Brahma was like, yeah, Mary clocked my tea. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to clean, but y'all know how I got this ring. So it's all to the GOOD. We're going to have somebody else cook. Now, first of all, can I please interject with this? I've been interjecting my own stuff. If there was no condiments, there was no seasoning, right? Ain't that a condiment?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
How you eat any meat? Not even salt?
That did not look appetizing for breakfast. I know steak and eggs can be great, but like if I had been drinking tequila in an RV all night, there's no way you could have handed me a steak, especially a bland as F1. Maybe some eggs, but
And they weren't even skirt real thin where you can probably get away with, give me the bagels that Mary was eating on last. I'd give me the
totally. Yeah.
It would be A-okay, until I get home. It just put a little something on my stomach. But okay, so where did that Blackstone come from? Because the night before they was worried about cooking the asparagus. That would have been asparagus.
Yeah, I don't know. They obviously didn't know what they were doing.
Ship that thing in overnight. We need to get this lady something because girl, like I said, hopefully they have at least some salt to put on, break. Girl, I couldn't believe it. Then I start talking. You know how they get when they start talking around the campfire and everything. They eating that nasty food. What's her name? Heather starts talking about this is her last child. She got in the house going to college, and all she's done is be a mother. And the dad, they divorced, and they've been with her overnight, every night. They never went with him, so she's feeling, away about her last kid leaving. She's sad about it. She don't know how she gonna be. I think that's a lie. I know exactly what Heather about to do for season 7. If I'll tell you about it later. And then Bronwyn interjected, trying to, how we do. Here's my story in the whole, scheme of kids going, at that age. And Heather took offense because Heather wanted to take offense. Since last season, Heather don't see it for Bronwyn. Heather will never see it for Bronwyn, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
I totally agree with you. I do think that Heather, I get it. I have a fun dad situation too, where I'm doing all the raising. So I can understand. What does she have? Like 3 girls or 2? I don't remember. Oh, she's 4?
Could have been. I don't know.
Anyway, she got enough kids that she's ready for them to get out of the house. I can respect that, but I also can relate to Bronwyn, where like, single mom, only child, like, you like kind of like, that's my baby, you're not ready. I thought Bronwyn was just trying to relate to Heather. I thought it was a big reach on Heather's part to take offense. But I agree with you. I mean, I just think back to the way Heather reacted to Bronwyn when they were with Lisa at Wendy's. I just think that, or whatever, when they were like, I just think that Heather does not like how confident Bronwyn is. She's threatened by it. Exactly. And Heather is a really, Heather's likable, except Heather's pick-me-ism gets to me. It gets to me. And like, Heather, you're looking great. You need to go to a therapist because you have fat girl energy. That pick-me-ism, that like, oh, I just want to be included. And it's like, you need to work on that because it turns you into a mean girl in the circumstances and makes you unlikable.
In addition to that, remember last season 5 when Bronwyn invited Heather over regarding going away for her and Todd's anniversary, where they were on that trip, and Bronwyn was trying to, check the temperature as to how could they move forward because she wants to invite her and a +1 on a trip, but if they're still at odds, she doesn't really want to. And Heather took that as having to grovel for a plane ticket. It's the same thing. Heather doesn't let it go.
Yeah. No, Heather just doesn't want. Heather can say she likes Bronwyn or has nothing against her all she wants. It's just not true because, like, you have to naturally have a problem with someone to reach the conclusions that she's reaching. I'm not saying that, because honestly, it did not read that Bronwyn was trying to make Heather feel guilty that she couldn't wait to be childless. Maybe you feel guilty that you shouldn't feel that way. Maybe your Mormon self is judging your own feelings, but you're projecting. Bronwyn was not doing that to you. Maybe you don't like the fact that she was sharing an opposite opinion of how you feel, trying to relate to you, but like, that's stupid. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's the most I'll give you. And the way that you turned it around on her to be like, you're insinuating that I'm not a good mom. She was not. That's you doing that to yourself.
Exactly. It's like Heather is looking for anything to pick a fight with Bronwyn about. I think Heather is, I had it on tip of my tongue, threatened.
Yes, I was, yep.
Because they have that same confident energy and they can go toe-to-toe, but Bronwyn's better at it than Heather.
Listen, you can think what you want about Bronwyn, but you cannot deny that girl can argue.
Pardon me, Bronwyn can read.
Yeah, I know. And she proved it this episode.
To be honest, and I hope y'all don't take this the wrong way, I ain't seen a white woman on these shows yet who can read the way Bronwyn reads. She can go toe to toe and step to you, look you in your face won't need to back down, won't need to back away, and will read you with the truth and will keep going. She's quick on her feet. She's a great
Whoa.
addition to this cast.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, no, she is able to stay emotionally regulated enough that her
Right.
brain still works while she's arguing. Like, we watched Lisa lose it. That's when you watch him like, oh, you're a piece of work. Oh, you're what? You're like, oh, you've lost your train of thought now. She got you so good, you're like out in the ether. Which anyway,
As
no,
she
I think that Heather is used to being one of the smarter ones and used to kind of being able to maneuver. And I just think I agree with you. I think she's threatened by Bronwyn, and that was a real reach. It was annoying. I'm like, Heather, don't be this version of you.
now Braun was my girl now. Braun was my
Yeah.
girl on this show. But girl, I can't invite my daughter's boyfriend to this house. Why ain't he staying by himself? Why can't he come over? Why does he need to move TFN? I don't, I wish I knew more circumstance behind that. But if there is a need for him, that's one thing. But if you just wanted him there, girl, no, wrong choice. Sorry, I know it's your life, but girl, that rubbed me the wrong way in so many ways. I just heard your daughter is 18.
She's only 18?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't let my 18-year-old daughter's boyfriend moved in. No, 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 no. He can come visit, but no. There's no way I'm getting up in the morning and looking at his face.
All
Mm-mm.
because, as she was trying to explain to Heather, as being the opposite, she just wants Gwen there as long as possible. And she'll, like she said, she'll do anything for her to be around as much as possible. Hence the boyfriend moving in. Girl, wrong road.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't realize she was only 18. I thought maybe she was like in her early 20s or something. Or like, yeah, nope, nope to that. No.
Then Whitney chimed in, y'all. Whitney, let's say funny, I'm just saying. Whitney is disgusted at herself for failing at business. And it's just a really hard pill to swallow, considering her husband Justin threw all his money in, and now, if I'm not mistaken, is this was that Alibaba controversy last season, which is why her business failed. I didn't hear her say anything like that, but she just said that they were going really good and then it just took a halt. I think that's what kind of made it go sour, if I'm not mistaken.
No, well, that probably didn't help, but so from what I understand, first of all, we all know Utah is kind of the MLM state, like the MLM US capital. Utah has some really, really like easygoing laws. That's kind of even why Jen Shaw was there as far as telemarketing and pyramid schemes and all that kind of crap. Like,
Where
so her husband was kind of known for being a high level executive within a known MLM organization. He got let go because of their scenes that nobody needed to see with Clay
nobody,
or whatever.
nobody.
He got let go. That was just never wanted to see that.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm giving this backstory because what I believe is he got fired and then they went all in together on investing. They took Wild Rose Beauty, which used to be Iris and Bo, and they turned it into the Soul Group. So then they started getting accused of running an MLM. So I think they came out with the jewelry for people to buy the jewelry and then sell it themselves. I think they might have been doing that maybe with like the skincare products as well. They basically turned their structure into whatever product lines they had, and they were kind of like an MLM, or they were accused of it, period. So I think that they I don't know the specifics, but it just seems like they, because Candy had an MLM pretty much, with Candy Coated Nights. Like that's what you did. You bought their products and you resold. You did your own parties and stuff. So, it's not like it's unheard of, but it just sounds like it was very popular at first and then tanked hard. But that business model of kind of that, like, pyramid MLM sort of thing, I think that's really falling out of fashion. But that's just me, and I'm kind of I don't know, I'm not too deep in the paint. I've always really hated whenever I'm personally against anyone that's in an MLM that um cannibalizes their own social media to push products on you. I don't like that.
I mean, I feel for her and Justin because we've heard the stories that their marriage is on the rocks, or at least it was months ago, right? And it's kind of messed up. Now, I do recall parts of that, but I just didn't get the. I'm glad that you mentioned all of that, because just from hearing how them, building companies and forging and merging and all these other things and making more companies for this and for that. It's kind of sad, but at least at the moment when they were flashing back and showing Justin, just reassuring her that they can do better the next time. They
Yeah.
know what not to do. So at least, he's not sulking with her. And I'm glad that he's bold enough within all of this torment, I guess, that they're going through, that he's still her backbone. He's still, holding her up. I love to see couples like that. When one is down, the other is up, no matter what.
Yeah. You're right. I agree with you there. I do think that was a healthy dynamic to watch. They're interesting because as we both, as we all know, they both cheated. They had a workplace romance. It was muy escándalo because she's, I think good 20, 25 years younger than him. But they kind of, I don't know, like, and I'm sure losing all of their life savings in a business that tanked, I'm sure that would put anybody's marriage in a tailspin. But I do appreciate seeing that it kind of looks like they're turning the corner with all of it. And I think to his credit, what he said was pretty reasonable. Like, look, we made a mistake by putting all in. We should never be doing that. And we can learn from our mistakes the next time that, as we rebuild, right? And at least, let's put it this way, of course we're not going to say it on camera, but at least she got another damn season. At least they didn't say bye, right after they tanked.
Okay.
So that there's at least probably like 700, maybe 750K coming in this season, in the high hundreds, 100,000s, to ease the pain of what they've done.
And I wish them well with everything,
Yeah.
Any type of problematic of any kind. They're just, going through the emotions of being business owners. And this is what happens. This is what can happen when you're entrepreneurs and, sticking your necks and your wallets out to take a risk and a chance. No risk, no reward, so.
Don't do any more MLM type crap. Just get out of that. Okay. Go figure out a more honest, just don't, figure something else out.
How about run a church like Mary?
Oh,
so
Lord.
Mary says, after Whitney asked Mary how Robert Jr.'s doing, Mary's like, not so well, but, he's just going through, and, and we've heard the stories too. Recently, he was taken in custody for bothering his wife's family. He's still married to that girl. I don't know, girl.
They were trying to break into the house through the dog door.
Girl.
Yeah,
No
she said
telling.
he has good days and bad days, and I was like, what does a good day look like? Because ooh.
Well, when they have that conversation, we gonna get into that. And
Yeah.
yeah. But well, now this is the part of the humdinger. It was time for them to go, and the RV.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just want to, is this where she says that Robert Sr. and like basically told him, like, we're not going to look at, you have to handle this on your own and we just have to let him deal with it? Like, or was that when she actually sat and talked with him? Because I thought she was telling the group, like, Robert Sr., he said, like, I'm not going to, like, babysit you. You have to figure this out. And I was kind of like thinking, you guys don't have the right attitude with this. You have to absolutely babysit him. You have to do everything you can to help this child get out of a deep level addiction. He was already in the major leagues with his consumption. Like, yes, you do. You have to, this is not something he can find the will to get out of. He needs all the help he can get. So I just thought that was kind of concerning.
Yeah, I don't recall when she said that. I'm glad you reminded me of that. I think people with his dad's mindset has it messed up to think that because they have to take initiative to get better and you can't do it for them, that message is misconstrued as you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. Instead of, like you said, no, you have to be a support system. And that may make you uncomfortable. But if you choose to be a support system for your loved one, then everybody's going to be uncomfortable in the situation because it is that type of uncomfortable situation. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he needs to be driven to an NA meeting every day. Like someone needs to tell him, you need to get in the car. I'm going to drop you off and pick you up. Like he needs to be told, like, you're going to live at the home and whatever, but like you have to attend meetings. You have to be working on like getting educated about how to support your sobriety because substance abuse is a whole spectrum, right? But I
Right.
think it was very evident through what he shared last season. He is in full-blown addiction. He has Xanax is the least of his problems. OxyContin, like he's in the deep end of drug dependence. He needs to be deep within the arms of some kind of program. And, NA is the 12 step is really the most established and the most accessible. And I just think that they need to be, instead of going, this is to you, you're an adult, you need to figure it out. No. I think you need to be doing all you can to deliver this kid into the arms. Because he's young. He's like early 20s. It's not even like, and obviously, like, he rolled up here. I don't think it was just him liking to have fun that got him here on drugs. Anyway, I guess
I was
it
just
just
going to say his dad needs to move back to Utah instead of staying wherever he's at in California or whatever, wherever
Florida. I think he is in Florida.
Whatever he's doing, he needs to move back to Utah for at least 12 months.
Yes.
And be there for his son, especially at this time, because he can't be a support system over the telephone or on Zoom or FaceTime. He needs a presence. He needs to know that you are present, literally and figuratively, in his life to help him. What if he needs a hug? Affection is necessary, especially when they are to refrain from intercourse, because that gives a whole another caveat to trying to get well and better, just focus on yourself, but they still need that unconditional love from their support system. And this part may be just from me, but I really do think that a present body is necessary for people trying to get off of a substance that they had no business being on. But I can tell you this. Oh no, that's the next thing. Anyway, we'll get to that when her and him talk.
Yeah, no, I mean the top level of it was I was just a little dismayed to hear kind of some of the attitudes that they have about it because, I just think that especially with how fragile all this is,
Yeah.
um and there's like it's a weird thing to expect him to like somehow be able to figure out how to solve this. This is, like this should be more of like the education and support towards his recovery versus
Right.
you need to want it to figure it out.
Right. I think everybody needs to have an outline of the steps that he needs to take
Right.
to get to
Yeah.
that and hold him accountable to these steps instead of telling him figure it out or whatever
Yeah.
he told him. Because I'm glad that he is still at the house at least and not on the streets, because that just adds a whole nother issue.
Well, he might about to be in jail because he violated his probation with what he got caught doing.
But Mary is, she's there. She's on the show. She's through. She's a team player. We really saw that in season 5. So I'm here for it. I am wishing all of the best for her family.
Yeah, Mary's a weird one for me. Mary is so funny. Mary killed me last season. Like with the bread and the purse. Oh my god. Like she's really funny. Like with what
She's genuine.
Yeah,
she's genuine.
I don't know if I can totally get over the really weird predatorial church beginnings that she has on top of like the weird ways she was groomed, but like I at the same time I'm like I cannot deny like Mary is funny, like in a really offbeat, unique way. She is. And
Sure.
I do believe she genuinely loves her son, and I don't doubt her like intentions to help get him well. So at least there's that. Like I don't think she's like you figure it out because you need to or whatever. I do feel like she's doing the best she can in a very tough situation.
Right. Now speaking of tough situations, the doggone RV got stuck in the mud or the ice or whatever that the dirt. And these ladies thought that they could help push it. And except for Mary. Me and Mary would have been inside. I'll drive and the driver can help push. But no, I ain't pushing this. No. And no. You may want to get somebody to help. But luckily all of the strength of the ladies helped get the RV out, which I think was a total crock of bull. I think they just did that just to be doing it.
Probably just one more like bullet point of why this trip sucked.
Now, oh Lord, speaking of suck, Heather meets with Lisa.
Oh man!
Oh my God! So we finally get a Lisa sighting, and it's real, and she's in person, and she's just sitting back. Hey, girl. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Heather. And Heather couldn't wait to run tell that to Lisa, because Heather is especially when it comes to Bronwyn, she will tell the man on the moon what she thinks of Bronwyn. So yeah, Heather met with Lisa. Heather said to Lisa how horrible Bronwyn was and how Bronwyn was just telling all her business and looking her up and yada yada. And so Lisa took everything, and here we go with perception. Lisa took everything that Heather said and is running with it. So everybody, because Lisa asked, so no one had my back. I mean, not even Meredith. Pretty much Heather's like, nah, girl. But the trip thing about this is, Heather ain't shit because she didn't even say Brittany had her back. And
I thought the same thing. What, didn't Meredith say something like that's enough now or something like that? Meredith wasn't like totally silent, but it was definitely Heather and Britt. But yeah, she didn't even mention. She took all the glory.
There you go. That right there, because Brittany is hard, especially since she brought Brittany to the group. Hello, you would think that her camp would be first, but she's even willing to sacrifice Brittany in all of this.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, Heather, you really ain't shit. And I've
been
since season 5, kind of season 4, but when actually season 3, when she was taking up for Jen after Jen bopped her in the eye, I'm like, what? I guess that's some stuff, some deep down seated things she had in her previous life, if you know what I'm saying. Because but not to say she was getting hit. I'm just saying holding in things that she shouldn't,
No,
girl, I don't understand that. But what I want to say real quick.
Yeah.
The way Heather threw everybody under the bus, saved herself so that she can feel better, and Lisa's graces just really, it offended me, and I ain't nowhere near Utah.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It was the pick-me-ism of it. It was like no, Heather has deep-seated low self-esteem issues. And those crop up in the way that, people with low self-esteem issues, I've been through this myself, where you find yourself like being attracted to people that don't approve of you because you do everything you can to get them to praise you. And then it's like extra rewarding because here you got this resistant person to give you approval. And whenever Heather wants someone's approval, she shows that she's willing to betray others and herself to get it. And that was perfectly evident in this lunch, because if I were describing it to Lisa, I would be like, yeah, Bronwyn absolutely brought up your lawsuit crap. She definitely feels justified based on what you've said about her on Twitter. Angie made a really, really uncool joke about comparing you to Jen Shaw. Brittany stood up for you. Meredith was her usual stuff. She said a few things, but not much. And Brittany and I were totally telling people you're wrong. Right? Like, I would try to give an accurate picture of what was going down, but it was like, oh wow. When Lisa said, sounds like you're the only one that had my back, I'm like, you liar.
And that proves this ain't production this time.
No. And listen, you don't have to like Brittany, but you have to give fair is fair. Brittany stood up for her, ridiculously so, because she barely knows the heifer, but whatever. The truth is, she did.
Give credit where credit is due. And that's who you brought to the group.
Yeah.
That's your homegirl.
Yeah, I guess she's fun to make fun of because she's really annoying and stuff, but she still stood up for Lisa. She did. And if you really cared about how Lisa felt about all of it, you would let her know that more than one person had her back. But whatever. I hate it when Heather acts like this. It just makes her look pathetic.
And speaking of, Lisa started crying, towards the end of this scene. In my opinion, I think Lisa really recognized that she's the target this season. And maybe those rumblings in these YouTube streets about her trying to negotiate a better contract, which is why she wasn't filming or being seen in season 1, may be true. I could be wrong, but something's telling me that, that those tears was about, I'm about to, be dog walked all.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. I did try to watch an interview that she did with Chicks in the Office.
Mhm.
Um, it was very boring. She manages to say a lot without saying very much. She basically said that she had a work, like South by Southwest. There was like a work appearance thing that she refused to compromise this time around for the show because she wanted more of a work-life balance or whatever. But I was like, yeah, right. I don't buy that. I think it was contract, and I agree. I think that's an excellent read that she knew she was the production's gonna get me for trying to hold out more. Yeah, accurate.
Mm. Well, next, Brian and Whitney, they go skiing. They go to the ski board, whatever they call it, board skiing, whatever it's called. And of course, they start talking about Lisa. Lord Jesus, I can't. I'm thinking about the last thing because girl Brown was just
Oh yeah.
the MVP. But so pretty much Bronwyn is just matching what Lisa is giving her. That's her stick
Mm-hmm.
which is fueling why she's exposing what's already pretty much out there. She didn't make all this stuff up. She said she went to the Utah Gazette or somebody's Gazette or whatever paper and got it and read up on it, and it is what it is. So now that you can dish things out about me actually going to a personal jeweler about my tab, well, I'll just go to the public records about you and just air you out the way you tried to air me out at reunion. So now, how do you like them apples? That's how I see Bronwyn. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. I'm here for it.
I agree. She is an adversary that doesn't back down, and Lisa doesn't like it.
And as a mystery man that Angie brought up, which looked like he's the one who paid her Amex. And look, now we in it. And Lisa didn't want John to know. That's all in the court records. Girl, that I can't wait to figure out what that's about.
Well, I do know that civil lawsuits are written to be as salacious and like damning as possible. Like when you file the lawsuit, you're trying to make it's a court of public opinion kind of thing. Shout out to Emily D. Baker, who goes over, yeah, love her. She breaks this stuff down really well. And I'll say this with a caveat. I, can imagine, like I said, knowing that lawsuits are written that way, I don't necessarily believe that some man is paying her Amex or this or that or whatever. However, though there are five, like there's some shucking and jiving in business and whatever. I wouldn't feel fully attacked, like I wouldn't be slinging arrows about the details of the lawsuits like I've got, like, silver bullets. You get what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it. It's good gossip to throw. She's read her really well, but like I'm not super duper scandalized by all Lisa's stuff yet until you tell me it's Tom Girardi time, So
season 5, I said, I can see why Bronwyn and Todd are equally yoked in their marriage enough to want to be together forever. He's a shrewd businessman. He has to be this successful. I just believe anyone this successful has made some decisions or have run the wrong way, and perhaps a little bit of that has rubbed off on Bronwyn. Because those two have to match wits, and he ain't the type to just roll over, and she sure ain't the type to, I mean, they both have magnetic personalities, in my opinion, which is why I like them from the jump. Even though, they brought us some shade and some, inconsistency, I still like them together. And I like how Bronwyn represents for her family. I like how Bronwyn represents, how she advocates for herself. And again, I don't see nothing wrong with what she's bringing to the table as far as Lisa, because I haven't seen her go overboard yet. It's just that Lisa isn't here, so it seems one-sided because it's just Bronwyn talking without, until the last season, child. I mean, until the last scene. So, again, I'm here for it.
I don't mind. I understand why Bronwyn feels the way she does and why she's doing what she's doing, because she got, Lisa went after her too. So I get it. And shit, we need equally yoked adversaries, or we need some. Hey,
and look, and Lisa brought her on, so
yeah.
It makes it even better. It's like, dang.
It's kind of a Tamra Jen situation where Jen was shocked that Tamra wasn't more of a friend. I think Bronwyn is really hurt that Lisa wasn't more of a friend.
Oh, how about Portia Shamia, girl?
Hey, there we go. Yeah,
girl.
Yeah.
Now Mary and Robert Jr. have a discussion, y'all. Tearjerker. Just saying, every time they come together, because we love them no matter what. If there is a genuine interest in how honest they're being, they may not be divulging everything, but to see how she is with her kid, I think it's appreciative of everyone watching. She's, startled by what he's saying, but she's loving and teaching him all at the same time. And when he told her how he's telling her how he's feeling, just like season 5, and he's relapsing, he's smoking weed, and did he say anything? Any other substance?
No, but he was lying, because that boy was not just on weed. That boy was.
And he said food. He has
yeah, that's right. Yes,
unhealthy relationship with food. So I don't know if he's just stuffing his face because he's high, or is he, eating like just can't. I don't know. Could be anything, considering how Mary is with, with food. Mary's real proper and prim, so no telling. But I was thinking, and I know this may not be right, but if that's truly all he's doing, I'm like, okay, at least it's just that and not everything else, or a pinch of anything else. That's just me, because I don't agree with any other drug but weed. I just don't. But that's just me. But at the same time, I hope that's all he's doing, even though he shouldn't be doing that. I'm just glad that he's not just binging out and just. So anyway, it's just hard to discuss, just like discussing them kids over on OC, because it's just so delicate. You know what I'm saying? It's really delicate. What do you have?
It is delicate and vulnerable. It is. I think it was, and it is brave. It's brave to be on camera and to film together, regardless. And I respect both of them for giving us that vulnerability. That being said, allegedly, in my opinion, that boy is not just smoking weed. That boy is back on Xanax. Like, I'm sorry. When he walked in, the way he was talking, I'm like, you're on something heavier, baby boy. You are not just smoking weed. You are messed up still. And I think it was very obvious to me. I felt bad because I know Mary wants to be there for him, but like some of this stuff, like there's a will, you got to see your way through it, and just a little bit more of the like, I I also know that there has been some speculation about exactly how much formal treatment that he has had. I just feel bad because I know that this is a hard journey. There's a lot. I don't want to give anybody advice. I just would like to see Mary maybe a little bit more like in an Al-Anon meeting or something, like maybe getting a little bit better educated on exactly
Uh,
what kind of support it looks like he needs. Because being isolated with her, I agree with you on the weed thing, and I wish that that was the only thing he was doing. I just don't believe it based on how he was acting and just his his energy, his response, all of it.
mhm.
So, and unfortunately, he's gone even further downhill. It looks like after taping and stuff. So I feel for them, but um, I still really respect them for giving us a window on this journey. I'm sure it will evolve as they try and continue to deal with this for him.
I just want to say one more thing. I know we're gonna wrap this part up. When he told her he's scared to change because
Hmm.
he's doing this and this is what he's so used to. And when she told him, you have to step out on faith, son. You just have to do it. You just have to keep going and keep going in that direction. I'm surmising what she's saying, y'all. It's not verbatim, but what is verbatim is he literally said he's scared. And another reason why his daddy needs to be there to hold him up physically, to physically hold him up and walk him, take walks. Ooh, girl, I could just go on because it's so necessary. When you're a parent, you have to be uncomfortable sometimes. You cannot. You have to get out of your own way. And I hope that he did come and that he's just not wherever he is trying to be a support system for him. Because when he said he's scared, I said, oh my God, he is in need of whatever isn't there to help him. And I really don't think just his mom is enough.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Whatever they've got going on, it doesn't feel like enough for him right now. So,
Just like you said earlier. Woo, that's
yeah.
a lot. Um,
Hmm.
Brian wouldn't have a child. A, B, and BA. meet, meet up, child, trying to, and oh, girl, did you see how they're waiting in the car just to see Brian walk in first? Like, girl, really?
Yeah.
Playing this type of game? Are you really doing this? It's like she's treating this like it's a game. She's playing around with what this is with Bronwyn, because I really don't think Heather has one genuine bone in her body to even believe what she's saying to Bronwyn, as far as wanting to be an actual bona fide, is that word again?
Hmm. I
To,
agree.
and I think Bronwyn sees it. She's like, girl, bye.
Well, I think it was pretty evident at lunch because it's like she literally said to you, I'm sorry, you saw it as an attack. I was just sharing my perspective on how I feel, and you took it the wrong way, and I did not mean it that way. And then she just literally went, and then you insinuated that I was not a good mom because and it was like, nope. Yeah. No, it was like, Heather, you're very disingenuous. You don't want to be friends with Bronwyn. Like, you want to see it the wrong way with her.
Yep.
You don't want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't come off genuine that you want to try with her. And Bronwyn keeps trying with you, but the tries are getting short.
Heather listens to respond when it comes to Bronwyn. Maybe I'm gonna pay attention to her other conversations, but definitely with Bronwyn, she listens to respond because she knows Bronwyn can keep up with her. You know, she's trying to come out on top for this every time she has a conversation with Bronwyn, because I think she's intimidated by Bronwyn.
Mm-hmm. It also seems like Heather uses any opportunity with Bronwyn as a way to either impress Lisa or somebody else with her loyalty or expose Bronwyn for not being a good person.
It's crazy how Heather is taking this approach
Yeah.
when she could just let it go. Just let it go. But maybe Heather wants to be the big man on campus.
I think she's inherently threatened by Bronwyn. The chemistry between them is just that way. And until Heather does some internal work, I don't think it'll change.
And then to ask Bronwyn, then why would you say all these things? Bronwyn explained it.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa said this about me, and I'm just matching what she's doing to me. It may be tit for tat, but this is what we do. This is how we do around here, right? So it is what it is, and I don't blame her.
It wasn't a friend lunch. It wasn't a bury the hatchet lunch. Like Heather didn't come to no, and I think Bronwyn was trying to make it clear to her, like, I'm trying with you, but it feels like you just want to look for a reason to be pissed off. And Heather's saying no, but like, absolutely. Yes, she is looking for any reason to be pissed off because something about you vexes her spirit.
And then Heather tried to Jedi mind trick Bronwyn into thinking that this toast is for us, burying the hatchet, or starting afresh or anew, or just girl, Heather, Bronwyn knows. Bronwyn knows. Bronwyn has your number, hussy. For real. And if she don't, she got it today.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bronwyn can now say at the reunion, I tried with you. I tried.
Now, speaking of trying, Lord Jesus. This cast scared the whole party who was listening to it.
I know, right? Yeah.
Even the hostess couldn't or didn't even bother wrangling them up or maybe excusing them to another room. Would you ladies like to have this discussion in the next? I was waiting for the hostess to come and at least interject into the conversation, but she was like, they're talking about the fucking thing. And oh my God.
I know. Like, it's one thing to be like, we're filming a show, there's probably going to be a scene caused. You know what I mean? But like, they didn't just cause a scene. They're screaming, sucking D, like real loud at the part. Like they were crass to these Mormon people.
I mean, anybody in an earshot was like the girl, the people, cameraman was just filming everybody's reaction. All you every 10 seconds they would film everybody looking like, what the hell? What the hell? I can just see those caption bubbles. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah. What the
hell? What's the HE double hockey sticks? Because they're white as hell over there.
Oh yeah, Mormon. Right.
Oh, and let me just say, like Brittany, Alex did the same. Alexander Rogers, shout out to our friend, did the same thing that I did when Brittany walked in. You brought the Osmond dude. Get out of here! Oh my God, be embarrassed. God, she's a mess. Just a mess.
Oh,
For
here,
her to bring him,
I don't even cough. I'm just shaking my head like, Lord Jesus.
that was embarrassing. She's such a stereotype, naive Mormon nut job, dimwit, like, you know, white girl, stupid. Oh, and he is a cheese ball. Ooh. Anyway, sorry, Brittany. Like, yeah, you are fun to laugh at until you prove otherwise. Especially because you pulled up with that fool.
Like, he's using her.
Yes.
And now that she's on TV, he can be on TV. Didn't they say something about him wanting to be in the limelight or the spotlight? As someone was describing him when we first knew of him. So I remember something to that effect, previous to, excuse me, previous to coming on the show. That was what he was about. Like maybe he tried to get on one of them Osmond tours or something.
He's a poor man's Osmond. You know, he gets women like that are mildly impressed by the fact that he's the Osmond adjacent. You know, he's lame as hell. I'm not sorry. When she walked in with him, I was like, oh, you should be so embarrassed. Ooh.
Girl.
Yes.
When I said, why did she bring him? Oh, because he wanted her to bring him. That's why he was on TV and talking with a mic pack on. Like, what?
Let me put it to you this way. If we got engaged and then broke up 2 weeks later, you would not be filming with me.
That's not what Whitney said. Episode 1. Oh, well, he's at the gym and he ain't working out. Plus, we've been here and there, and he would come to me, introduce me to his dates.
Yeah, he's been disaster. She needs to bring back the other guy she brought when he showed whatever.
That part.
He's got stupid mind games and she's stupid. So there we go to play with him. You know, like it just adds to her embarrassing character. So
I'm sorry. I bet he's on the same family tree as RAEARES.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It's just anyway. So you just cringe. But that has a place, So, but yeah, it was like, oh man, this is why everybody makes fun of you, girl. Ooh.
Well, Lisa made her grand entrance, y'all, and she's trying to, I guess she thought she would just check everybody until Bronwyn showed up. And she was, kind of doing her thing. She wanted to hear from people. She wanted to hear from Angie because she figured out the whole group, Angie was the one that she knew the best or had the best relationship with. And so by the time she made her rounds, and she didn't even acknowledge Whitney. She just walked in front of her, got in front of her, and didn't even say anything. She turned her back to her. It was just so disrespectful that Lisa came in with that whole situation going on. But thanks to Heather, that's how she came in, expecting to, I guess, take names and whatnot, until Bronwyn interjected and Lisa thought she could insult Bronwyn when Bronwyn was like, Angie's not the reason or the person you really should be arguing with. It's me. I'm the one who brought it to the group. And Bronwyn kept telling her, Lisa, that, if you really want to argue with somebody, try me. I'm right here. And then Lisa tried her best to ignore Bronwyn. But Bronwyn kept at it and kept at it. And then to the point where Lisa got so upset, Bronwyn throwing out more issues with the lawsuits, to the point where Lisa just got real nasty with it and said how much dick she's sucking, which is the only reason why she can afford this, that, and the third. And then, Bronwyn had to come back. Well, at least it's my husband paying my Amex. Who was this guy in the court docs paying yours? I was like, oh shit. What's going on? It was just, Lisa, you may want to pipe down because everything Bronwyn was bringing to the table was factual, at least according to the court documents. It's not like Bronwyn just started insulting her. And that's when all the dick sucking, everybody's sucking dick, you sucking dick, we sucking dick, everybody sucking dick. It was just
so stupid. They're all married. I hope so. Like, shoot, like I hope you have a healthy sex life with your husband. Like, God, don't insult me by like handling my business at home. Like, what like.
Don't threaten me with a good time. That's all I got to say.
I mean, like, why are like you're literally talking about something that married people or people that are intimate with one another do, but especially within the sanctity of marriage, get out of here. No, it was just funny because it was funny. Of note when Lisa said you're dismissed. No, she wasn't. That was funny. You tried to have a moment and she was like, no, you don't want to argue with me right now because you know that you can have more of a one-on-one with Angie because I'm a better arguer and you don't want to get to me. You want to be in the power position, but I'm not going to let you. Let's have it out. And then when Meredith was like, stop loitering, this isn't the time. And it was kind of like, you're ruining this scene, move it along. But I do respect the way Bronwyn was like, no, this is really between you and I, and I'm not going to back down. And she didn't get antagonized enough that she lost her sense of logic and was able to hold the argument. And it just kind of made Lisa like flail. And it was just ridiculous. Like you said, D sucking everywhere. Like, so everybody's married. What are you doing? Like, maybe make fun of Brittany for that, but shoot, like, is it wrong? Who cares? It's her husband, like, ew, I don't find Todd attractive in any way, shape, or form. So her saying enjoying sleeping with her husband kind of grossed me out, but I also would hope so because that's her husband.
And she was like, do you like second? And Whitney was like, yeah, I actually do. Like, we know Whitney, girl.
Yeah, I was like, shut up, Whitney. We know you do. We know you. We know. We know too much. We know too much about what you like to do. No, but it was, I mean, listen, no matter how you feel about Bronwyn, she held her own. I will give her that.
She was the MVP.
She bested Lisa. She did. And usually that's pretty hard to do because Lisa comes on like a tidal wave for most of these ladies.
Girl, I was shocked because I'm thinking she brought you on this show. Why are y'all at odds not thinking about Roa? I said, oh, okay, well, there you go. Girls gonna be girls.
Well, and I do think that there's a case of like, yeah, we were friends, but if it's gonna be like you or me on a season or this lifestyle and these opportunities, like now you are like my competitor. Like, our friendship is not so strong that I'm not willing to throw you all the way up under the bus. And I do think there's plenty of ladies that look at their acquaintances and go, yeah, I suggest her because if she gets on, I know all her dirt that I can use to my advantage.
Girl, and this is just episode 2. Episode 2 causing all this conversation, child. Like, oh my goodness. I was shocked. Now, the one thing that I thought was really cute, by the way, when they first got there was this wall. You know how everybody doing the grass walls? Well, there's some cutouts of sorts where as soon as you walk up, these hands come out of the wall and they have glasses of champagne in them. I'm like, oh, that's cute.
You're so funny. I was going to bring that up too because I thought it was creepy. Remember, there's always
It
got to be
could be.
one thing we disagree on, right?
It could
Like,
be. I mean,
ooh.
depending on where you're standing, it could be because well, Seth did say a glory hole for champagne, so
He's
you
always
know,
got to say something perfect. God, so stop.
and
I,
Meredith left, so
yeah, yeah, that's why they married.
But I thought that was pretty cool, the
It
coming
was.
here
Well,
from
I'll give you that. Like, this lady was trying to have was having put some money into this party. I'll give her that. That's what it spoke to me of. I'm like, oh, you really got money if you got people doing this kind of nonsense.
And I think she's one of those, the one that got away. She may be testing for the show. She's possibly a candidate, considering how she was talked as or talked about, and that I think her name was Amy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Is she a friend of, maybe? Because she sounded like, to me, I thought she was getting the friend of introduction.
Well, like I said, but maybe she's, a possible candidate for season 7. She has it going on. She's throwing parties like this, so she can withstand some competition. But I would have liked for her to at least get in some conversation, at least try and stop the ladies. Like, would you like to move to another room? Do something. Try and get in some way. It's okay to get shut down, kind of make it cute for yourself, but don't. But they filmed her walking over and then running away once she heard the dick sucking. So we're gonna need you to get in there, girl. Go ahead, girl, get in there. That's your party.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed myself at this episode. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
Nope, that was good enough. Yep, that was enough for a second episode. I was satisfied.
Me too. I can't wait for next week, y'all. Every week. What's today? Wednesday?
Yep.
Wednesdays, we gonna be reviewing, we or me, whichever. We gonna be reviewing Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We hope to see you next week. But before we go, let's find out where Erin will be when she ain't talking ish with me.
You can find me on Instagram and Threads, psychic_ELB, Psychic Erin, or also on Facebook, Psychic Erin Boyd. Hit me up in the DMs for psychic reading. I do give the aunts and uncles a friends and family discount.
And y'all, it's the end of the year. We you know how we do. You know how we do for our new years. So don't forget to jump on that. Let her know what you need, what you want, and she will definitely help you out like she helped me out. So again, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we will get back with you next time. Have a good one, y'all. Bye. All day.